A sausage has gone! Oh my God, Jeremy, a sausage is missing!
They say that a good film is the perfect balance between beautiful moving image and excellent sound design, by which I mean directors and filmmakers combine the best audio and visuals they can to produce a masterpiece. I believe that spoken dialogue makes up a huge part of this audio side of things. In most mainstream films, it's the spoken words and dialogue that not only introduce and create the characters, like in Hot Fuzz,
Police Constable Nicholas Angel,
but also set up and drive the narrative forward in something like Mission Impossible.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
It is for this reason I wanted to explore the skill of writing dialogue for my Creative Explorer module. This wasn't the initial plan, however. Initially I wanted to explore sound design, both recording and editing sound, making myself more confident in this area of filmmaking. I had done very little work on sound on the course so far, so I was eager to learn more about it, but then, lockdown. Unsure if I would be able to return to university to get the equipment I would need to properly explore sound in film, I changed my Creative Explorer topic to screenwriting. But even screenwriting seemed too vague and too vast a subject to properly explore in this module, so narrowed it down further to dialogue. The first decision I had to make was, what sort of dialogue shall I make? Should it be something snappy and hyper-stylized like the thick of it?
I give you 18 months before you're a washed out, weeping alcoholic with no fucking bladder control.
Should it be slow and poetic like Skyfall?
You take them and release them into the trees. But now they don't eat coconut anymore. Now they only eat rat.
In the end, the answer came to me in the form of a film recommendation from a fellow coursemate. That film was the Marowitz Stories. Written and directed by Noah Baumbach, the film follows a trio of siblings who have nothing in common, coming back together to try and celebrate and reconnect with their father. What makes this film so effective are the conversations between the characters. This hyper-realistic dialogue whereby characters are constantly overlapping with each other, talking over each other, having conversations but never quite understanding each other, is so identifiable for the viewer. We are, after all, humans, and humans love talking to other humans. Telling stories, informing, joking, waffling. That connection brings people together, and I believe it is incredibly difficult to accurately replicate it on screen. After watching a video essay on the film, I decided that there were three elements that made the film so strong. Firstly, make the characters' dialogue out of sync with each other. Secondly, get close to but never allow the characters a total breakdown in communication. And finally, a moment of connection. Because as Baumbach's dialogue demonstrates, in real life, communication isn't easy. I knew that my script had to be personal to me and based on awkward human interactions I had in the past, and so began my writing process. I realised that most of the awkward interactions that happened in my life were when I was trying to make small talk with a stranger. You know the kind, you're having a conversation with them, but only enough to break the silence. In my screenplay, a boy named Gianluca goes to his girlfriend Sophie's house to pick her up for a date, only to find out she's not quite ready yet. As a result, he patiently waits in the living room with one of her housemates, Mark. It's this conversation which is the setting for my dialogue. The two characters have nothing in common. Gianluca realises that Sophie should be ready soon, and is just counting down the minutes with the smallest of small talk. Naturally, throughout the writing process, I created multiple drafts of the script, tweaking and altering it slightly each time. In the early stages of this module, I presented my script to my lecturers, who gave me key pieces of advice. To be careful not to timestamp the script. For example, referring to football players who may move to different clubs in the future. Perhaps the most important advice I received was to impose my personality on the script. Early drafts of the script made characters who were just too generic. The lecturers suggest that I use my creativity to make the characters more surreal and bizarre, just something with a little personality that the viewer can hold on to. Originally, I had the aim of creating a script I could use to present this module. However, after writing around 10 to 15 drafts, I've ended up with 3 scripts that I believe are all different enough to stand on their own, while also completing my original goal. For the sake of simplicity, script 1 includes just 3 characters, Gianluca, Mark and Sophie, whereas script 2 includes those 3 as well as 2 more housemates, Aaron and Ruby. Finally, script 3 has Gianluca, Mark, Sophie, Ruby, but no Aaron. To be clear though, the characters aren't the only differences. The characters' attitudes, personalities, motivations alter between different drafts, giving each version its own uniqueness. One of the other key aspects of my dialogue was that I wanted it to be multi-layered with different interpretations. For example, is Mark rude and harsh to Gianluca just because it's his personality? Or is it because he's trying to watch the football? Or is it because he's just not comfortable with strangers? Or is it perhaps that he secretly likes Sophie and is jealous of Gianluca? To conclude, although I failed my initial goal of writing a scene which featured realistic dialogue, I feel I've achieved a greater one in that I now have 3 finished scripts I'm proud of and can present. I believe I've overcome challenges successfully and conducted my own research and progress in a professional manner. Thank you for listening.